Welcome back everyone to Hades Tech. I'm your host, Hades, and in today's video, we are going to discuss what the possible future looks like for data analysts. Okay, so here we go. What I see based on the trend and within my opinion, the amount of experience that I have, just the overall level that I'm at within data analytics is, I would say the future of it might look like, and once again, this is just my opinion, of someone that has over 10 years of experience in data analytics, is within the current space that we're in, dealing with AI. I really see it enhancing on being able to build dashboards, quality, fancy looking dashboards. And also I see it leaning into the direction of more so prompt based, meaning, and this is just for dashboards, by the way. We'll go ahead and we'll get to like databases and other things here in a minute. But in terms of dashboards, absolutely, I believe it's going to get to a point to where you just type into a prompt based on whatever software that you're using. I think a lot of softwares will catch on to this. And let's say, for example, you want to build 7 widgets, data widgets that show these type of metrics, and you also want to see like these type of KPIs from this data. And then you go ahead and you give it its parameters, its requirements, things of that nature, be as detailed as possible, and then it will spit out that information within the rate everything's going probably within 5 seconds. So you would have a dashboard built in approximately 5 seconds. That's the future that I see within data analytics, at least when it comes down to dashboards. Now, when it comes down to databases, I've seen a lot of software, including already AI, and it's been wonderful in the sense of now AI is able to cleanse databases. It's able to find and spot anomalies. You're able to add parameters. You're able to add restrictions and rules within that database. So therefore, for example, from what I've seen is you're able to, I would say slightly, I don't want to say skip out on SQL, all right? Because SQL will always, in terms of databases, be your checker, okay? Your double check. You never want to miss out on that. You always want to double check your work all the time. But what I see is you're able to go ahead and enter within a prompt, find an anomaly, but let's be specific. Let's find within the state of Florida, how many of these rows, let's say, because a lot of this information was like manually entered by whoever and so on and so forth. So it's got tons of rows and it's managed like that. Let's just say, for example, and there happens to be a lot of, it's Florida all the way down, because that's the column that it's in. Let's just say it's state, and then there's like different states and so on and so forth. But within that, some things are spelled incorrect. All right, such as like one would be like capital F, capital L, and then ORIDA, and so on and so forth in lowercase. And then you have maybe like someone misspelled something. And then now it's, FRD and all the rest of this stuff, right? So let's just say for simplicity purposes, that's the anomaly. AI will be able to pick that information up, show you where the anomaly is, so that way you could go ahead and correct that. I've also seen to where you could add parameters and restrictions on it. And this isn't really new, but it's still pretty awesome that AI could do it. That it could go ahead and essentially act as your SQL checker and be able to make it to where all anomalies, all like spaces within those columns. So let's say for example, it's let's say it's a name, all right? So within that name, let's say for example, it's James, all right? So, and once again, people are inserting this data. So instead of like JA and then space MES and then so on and so forth, it's able to take that information and from its algorithm correct it. I think that's just absolutely awesome. There's so much stuff that you could do with AI now in terms of databases, things of that nature. Eventually, I believe it will get to a point to where you'll rarely need to use SQL. But once again, when you're extracting data, you always want to do a double check when dealing with any data, right? Just to make sure that you're not missing out on valuable information, and as well as make sure there's no errors, just in case AI didn't catch it for whatever reason. All right. So that's what I will say. I will say that I think that there's going to be fewer tools used in the future when it comes down to data analytics. I think it will go ahead and reach a point to where you just need to use one AI software, and I'm willing to say, in my opinion, I think people are going to start developing AI software just for data analytics. And so far, I haven't seen it. Doesn't mean that it's not out there. I just haven't seen it. But within time, it's just a matter of time that it will be an all-in-one compass. Now, once again, that will not replace data analysts, because it will take people that have that data mindset to really understand and comprehend and fully have a picture of everything that's going on within that software, from the AI pulling from a database, or AI pulling from an Excel file, entering Excel documents within the AI itself, so that way it could go ahead and populate its own, small database, whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't think too much into that, but I do think eventually it's going to come down to one software rather than multiple softwares that we're currently seeing in 2026. But time will tell. All right. So another thing as well, because I'm just looking down at my notes, is it will be fewer tools and better thinking. And what do I mean by better thinking? AI, you guys know how AI works. It's great. It's built on algorithms, the whole 9 yards, and what I'm seeing over time is it's making fewer and fewer mistakes. So it will be able to determine, just like how we mentioned in a previous video, to where it will be a prompt, and it will be like, let's say for a new analyst, right? You could type into a prompt and be like, you know what, I'm looking for, within this time frame, within 10 years, I need to know, has there been a trend within the data for sales and forecast when it comes down to the retail department? All right. Now, from there, it will go ahead and grab that information, analyze that information, and create a dashboard. I really see that happening in the future. So it's not going to go ahead and it's definitely not going to replace data analysts anytime soon. But what I will say is just be prepared for what the future brings, meaning constantly enhance your skills, your understanding of AI, because as time goes on, AI will continue. And the more you know about AI, how to deal with AI, how to handle prompts to get what you want, will be absolutely tremendously valuable. All right. But that's all for this video. I don't believe that there's anything else that we really need to cover in this, because I wouldn't say it's necessarily straightforward, but what I will say is it's going to enhance your experience as a data analyst. The more AI that goes into this type of work will just enhance productivity, produce better outcomes, better dashboards. Don't get it wrong, you might have to tweak some things here and there, but that will be your job as the data analyst. All right. So that concludes this video. Until next time, everyone, take care.